it's Maya. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on our video today. As you can see by the title, this reading is all about your next travel / relocation. So since we have 4 groups, each group is going to have a different situation that it's talking about. So this could be about a travel that's coming up or that you have been wanting to take, and maybe this is confirmation for you. This could be relocation that spirit is advising you or giving you confirmation about. And you can also watch like multiple groups, because say you want to relocate but you also want to go on a specific trip, I think both could apply to one person. So if you want to watch multiple, feel free to watch as many as you want, but that's what we're talking about today, all about your next travel / relocation. I've done one of these here on YouTube. If you're interested, I will have it linked in the description below. It was like almost a year ago that I recorded and uploaded that, so if you want to go back in time a little bit and check that one out, I will have it in the description. And this was actually suggested over on Patreon, so I felt like it was time to do one of these on YouTube because I haven't done a topic like this in a while. So thank you to our Patreon member that suggested this. But yes, this is what we're doing today. There are 4 groups for you guys to choose from. Each group has a different tarot deck, a different crystal, a different card that came out as I shuffled. Plus, I will also state the astrological placements for each card. So there are multiple ways for you to be drawn to your groups. So let me go ahead and show you these options up close one by one. Group 1, this is a black and white glow-in-the-dark Rider-Waite-Smith tarot. This is what the back looks like. And your crystal, I'm pretty sure this is some kind of a jasper, but I don't know, but it's a jasper. And your card is the Page of Wands. This is associated with fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. Group 2, this is the Housewives Tarot. This is what the back looks like. And your crystal is this carnelian. And your card is the Chariot. This is associated with Cancer. Group 3, this is the Cat Tarot. This is what the back looks like. And your crystal is this purple seer stone. And your card is the Page of Pentacles. This is associated with Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Group 4, this is the Marseille Arcana. This is what the back looks like. And your crystal is this opal. And your card is the 4 of Cups. This is associated with the moon in Cancer. I had to think about it for a second. Okay, you guys, here are all of your options laid out for you side by side. Like I said, feel free to watch as many as you want. Take all the time you need to pick your groups. I'm gonna get started with group number 1. Hey guys, if you chose this Page of Wands with this jasper, the black and white glow-in-the-dark Rider-Waite-Smith tarot, this is your group. Hello, group number 1. Thank you guys so much for being here, and thank you for all of your support here on my channel. Whether it's your first time here or if you have watched my readings before, thank you so much for all of your support. And I've received some really kind emails in the past couple weeks, past month. Thank you so much if any of you did reach out to me through email just to share anything with me or talk to me. I really love getting positive emails, so thank you so much for all of that. So let's get started with some Astro Dice here. So first I want to go ahead and see what is like the energy of this group. So this is going to show us if this is something that's more of a relocation energy or if this is more of a travel energy. Actually, before I even do that, I forgot to mention, with the Page of Wands, this definitely feels travel. This definitely feels impulsive. It feels quick. It feels like I just want to go somewhere. I want to do something. I want to get out of my routine. I want to have fun. There's something that's like calling you or something you're passionate about, but it feels impulsive. It does not really feel like it's a relocation energy already. It just feels like short-term travel somewhere, maybe traveling to multiple places, but I would say this group already does not feel like long-term relocation. But yeah, it feels quick, it feels fun, it feels like something new. You're challenging yourself to go somewhere new, or there's just like something that's like really caught your attention recently, a specific place. So now let's go in with the dice. Let's see, Spirit, is this more of a travel energy for group 1, or is this more of a long-term relocation energy? 8th house, South Node, Capricorn. Oh, interesting. This definitely feels short-term, and it feels like a place that you're going to have some kind of a death and rebirth in. So like some kind of a spiritual awakening. This could even be a spiritual retreat for some of you that like you're being called to go to a spiritual retreat, or it's like you're going somewhere 222 on the time. So some of you that could align. Or it's like you're going to this place in order to have a rebirth. So you could be going with others, you could be going by yourself, but it does feel like there's some shedding of the skin that needs to happen, and it will happen here. Especially with South Node, you're detaching from a previous version of yourself in this place. And with Capricorn, this is making me think of Saturn, and Saturn is very long-term. It's about building something for the long term. So it feels like you're really shedding the old version of yourself here. And it doesn't even have to be like a literal spiritual awakening. Like you don't have to go here, you know, dressed in a robe and we're all sitting around like a fire. Like it doesn't have to be like something so stereotypical or something so literal. It could just be that you are just doing something that is causing you to have a death and rebirth for yourself. So I mean, you know, say something is happening in your life, because I think this could be triggered because something is already happening in your life. Something is already, the pressure is already building for something, or a version of yourself has to end 333 on the time. So then you go on this trip to maybe like escape the world, escape people, escape daily obligations, to kind of allow yourself to have that death and rebirth. Or it could also be that like you're still on the verge of having some kind of a rebirth, spiritual awakening, but then it activates itself at this place. But it definitely overlaps, this spiritual insight, awakening, wake-up call. But like I said, it doesn't have to be like a stereotypical retreat. It could be that you just decide to like go somewhere by yourself, you know, to meditate or to have this alone time, to have the spiritual awakening by yourself. So I think it could be either way. I will say though, there is a bit of an isolation here, because even if this is a spiritual retreat, you're probably spending a lot of time by yourself. 8th house South Node feels very much like I'm shedding my skin and I have to be alone while I'm doing it. Like I can't be with a crowd right now. And 8th house also feels very isolated. It's interesting, 8th house also deals with other people's money. So for some of you, maybe somebody's like sponsoring this trip, somebody's paying for this trip. For some of you, this could even be like a family, like your family's helping you fund this trip, or like I don't know, like money could be coming in from somewhere to fund this. Or it could just be that maybe you saved up for a while, but it's like shared resources with the 8th house. Okay, yeah, and I feel like you're shedding the skin to establish a more aligned version of yourself for the future, so you can actually like plant proper seeds for the future. And I think like whatever this trip is, it gives you a better sense of like who you are, where you want to go. It really like activates multiple aspects of you that like really helps your long-term stability. Very cool. And okay, I will say you're definitely coming out as like a very new version of yourself, because with the 8th house and South Node, it just feels like you're going into this as a version of you that's completely done. Like you're just over it. And then you're coming out more aligned with your North Node, which is more of your destined path in this lifetime. You know what I mean? So yeah, it feels like you're going into something very different than how you're coming out of it. And that's why it doesn't feel long-term, because it feels like you come out of it and then you go back to your regular life. Or you're at least not like your regular life, but you'd go back to like probably the same place you were in, but like starting over, or like you're approaching life a little bit differently. But this could put you on the path of like thinking about relocation, thinking about changing other things in the long term. But I feel like this specific trip does not involve a relocation right away. Okay, so I have another deck here. I just want to go ahead and see a little bit more information about this place specifically. A little bit about this place specifically. And then after we look at the place, we'll go in with the deck you chose to get information for you in regards to like why this is happening and how you're going to navigate the situation and how you'll kind of come out of it. Okay, for group 1, let's see a little bit about this place specifically. For some of you, there could be something about like your childhood that's tied to this place. Like for some of you, maybe it's literally like your hometown, your home country, because this like shedding of the skin, it does feel like gaining closure for some of you. Like you're going to this place to gain closure about something from your past. Like you're tying up loose ends somehow to really like leave it in the past. But let's see. Because for some of you, if there are like something about like tying up loose ends from your childhood or from earlier in your life, it feels like you were pushing this off for a while. Like you didn't want to do this for a while, to a point of like no return. Like now you have to do it, you know? Okay, let's see. Can we see anything about this physical place that group 1 is traveling to, where they're essentially having this spiritual awakening, death, and rebirth? The High Priestess. Oh my goodness. This is very on point with what I was just talking about, because it feels like this place, it's very quiet, it's very isolated, and I do think you're here by yourself. The High Priestess is a very internal energy, it's a very subconscious energy, it's very quiet, it's giving Hermit. High Priestess Cancer energy, there could be water here. You could be surrounded by water, or this could be, I'm not saying you're going to an island, but it could be, yeah, surrounded by water. Some kind of like a beachy area, some kind of a resort. But again, it's not a resort with like a ton of people. It could be like you're going to like a specific spot on the beach somewhere, or a specific area where not many people frequent, because it feels very isolated. It feels very much like I'm in a hibernation and I don't want people to bother me. And this also confirms to me that you're doing this by yourself. Also, with all this purple going on, it does feel like your third eye is being activated in this specific place. Very specific image I just saw in my mind's eye. It's like you're walking on the beach, you're walking on the water, you know, like parallel to the water, but like sand is here, beach, you know, the water is, the shore is right here. And you're walking and you find a very cool crystal, because there's so many crystals down here on the bottom of this card. I feel like you find a cool crystal, or like you find something really cool, like as you're walking on the shore, and you keep it. And it's like a reminder of this hibernation. It's a reminder of this spiritual awakening time for you. But I also think you finding this, it's a physical object, and it's like an earth, like it's not like a man-made object. It's like a natural thing from earth, from something that was somehow created at some point and it washed up by your feet. You might even like accidentally step on it, but it feels like that is a huge confirmation for you that like you're on the right path, you're on this spiritual awakening journey for a reason. But yeah, it feels like there's water, I'm sensing sand, and I'm sensing you are alone. You could even like I mean, you know, maybe for safety reasons you do bring a phone with you, but it feels like maybe you like turn off notifications, maybe you put everything on silent, maybe even deleting apps like social media apps off your phone. It feels very much like I am detaching from the world around me and detaching from the people around me in order to find myself and ground myself, and in order to like align myself. Even with this looking like an owl, I think it's an owl, and it feels like you're gaining a lot of wisdom from this trip. That's why it feels like you're coming out of it a brand new version. Like you're not coming out of it as the you that went into it. Let's get a little bit more about this trip. The physical location of this trip. The number 2 could be like February. Maybe you're doing this at like I'm hearing like a travel off season. Maybe it's like during a time of year where a lot of people don't go to this specific place and you know you'll be alone. Or it's like you're like, maybe the flight is cheaper, or I don't know, there's something about like it's an off season. But the month of February could be significant, or like the earlier, like the first week of the month, the first 2 weeks of the month. Something feels like it's in the earlier time of the month. Let's see more about this physical place. This physical place that group 1 is traveling to. Oh my God, literally talk about rest. The Four of Swords, period of rest, a period of healing. Again, it's a period of hibernation. For some of you, this is also like part vacation. Like, yes, you're going through like a spiritual purging and like this wake up call in some way, but you're also like able to rest. Maybe for the first time in a long time, you're able to actually like relax because this is, and I love how cute this little fox is, or this is a fox or a raccoon. It's like sleeping, it's tucked in, it feels safe. It feels comfortable. It's not constantly looking over its shoulder. So again, this feels like a combination of like allowing your soul to rest, allowing your body to rest, and some kind of a little bit of like a solo vacation time, but it's also a period of healing. But I think you're also finding more rest, you're finding more peace because you're healing. Like a lot of the friction and the frustration that you are sensing in your life at this point or leading up to this point is due to unhealed wounds or due to a lack of the spiritual evolution that still hasn't happened yet for you. And now you're finding yourself at peace because you're finally going through the spiritual awakening, you know? Again, this feels kind of isolated. This fox is in the middle of a desert. So maybe, you know, of a hot climate, like a hot climate that also has the water and also has a beach attached to it somehow, somewhere. Maybe the mountains are also significant. There's mountains in both of these, but it definitely feels like not many people go here. This is definitely not a tourist attraction. I think that this is just like a very beautiful countryside somewhere, or like a very, very isolated area that like families don't really go here. Like it's not a major hub for like tourist attractions. And I think that's part of the reason you chose it. 53 could be a significant number. For some of you, you could be older in life as you are making this journey. Oh my gosh. For some of you, this could quite literally be like a pilgrimage. I'm thinking about like Mecca. Obviously, you know, it doesn't have to be that you're going directly to Mecca, but I'm thinking that's what it feels like. For some of you, it's like you're older and it's like later in your life and you're finally going on some kind of a pilgrimage. Or again, it doesn't even have to be religious. It's just like some kind of a spiritual retreat for yourself. Yeah, okay. Can we get anything else about this physical place? I'm hearing Scottsdale, Arizona. I don't know why. I'm thinking about Arizona specifically. I'm also thinking about South America. But like Arizona, South America, specifically like Colombia, maybe Brazil, maybe Argentina, maybe like an African country as well. Oh, okay. 8 of Cups, 2 of Cups. 2 of Cups in the reverse. I think what triggers this like pilgrimage, I know it's not really, but what triggers this is some kind of pain, some kind of a heartbreak. And that's what I was kind of sensing, right? Like something happens and you're like pushed to go on this solo venture because this thing happened. The 2 of Cups coming out in the reverse, specifically with the 8 of Cups upright. And in this, it's like, you know, people are sending you letters. And I think this is like a metaphor for like you turning your phone off and people can't get a hold of you. Or like maybe, obviously maybe they are sending you physical letters, but it doesn't have to be. But again, with all the tears, it does feel like something hurt you in life. Maybe it was like a relationship breakup, a divorce, some other type of pain that you have experienced. And I think that's kind of what puts you in this state of like, I have to go, I have to be alone, I have to hibernate, I need peace, I need isolation. And that's what causes you to go to this place. Even this is like the beach with mountains in the background. And I'm even thinking about like the California coast, because that has like the beach, the water, the mountains. But again, I know not everyone is in the United States, but I'm thinking about, yeah, this feels like what triggered it is a heartbreak or sadness or pain. And you realized you couldn't deal with this with a bunch of eyes on you. Remember I said that earlier? I was like, you are leaving because you don't want to be surrounded by people while you're going through this. Like maybe people are giving you their input, their advice, people are trying to help you navigate something, and I'm feeling this like itch to just like shut everyone down because you're just like, leave me alone. Like I can figure this out by myself, or like you really just don't want people's advice right now. And I think that is like a confirmation for you when this time comes. If it hasn't happened yet, there is, spirit is saying you need to go and deal with this by yourself. Like that is a direct message from them, not to try to deal with it with other people. Now again, for more physical, like physical location, I feel like it's so like countryside or like isolated or beach vibes, like away from the city lights, that you can lay under the stars and like literally see the night sky. You know, when you're in like a busy city and there's so much light from everything, light pollution, that you can't really see the stars. This is very different. It feels like you can lay out under the stars in the middle of the night and you can see the night sky. You can probably watch the sunrise, watch the sunset. I do think that's something you do, is watch the sunrise and sunset. You could even journal during that time. Okay, cool. Well, let's see. And that's why it feels impulsive, because remember in the very beginning with that Page of Wands being your intro card, I was like, something feels very impulsive here, like you just do it. And I think it's because you don't plan on it, and probably you didn't plan on getting hurt either, but it feels like something happened and you just go like in a few days of it happening. Maybe even like the next day you're like, I gotta get out of here. You know, there's like this itch on, I can't be here, I wasn't expecting this, and I need time away from this. Now, for some of you, this pain or this heartbreak, whatever, it could have happened a while ago and you're healing from it. And you realize that you want to take this trip because you're healing, you know, and you want to heal here. So it doesn't have to be for some of you that the only reason you go on, well, no, let me rephrase, because it does feel like some kind of a healing period in your life leads to this trip. So, but it doesn't have to be like a terrible, terrible thing that happened. And at the same time, it doesn't have to be immediate for some of you. Maybe you've been sitting on this healing and this pain for a while, and then you decide to go. Something, but it just feels like it wasn't planned. Or it's not planned. So why does group one end up going on this trip? What triggers them, or what happens? Why do they end up going on this trip? Two of Pentacles. Clarify the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like your life, something happens and your life is out of whack. Like that's how it's coming through. It's like it's out of balance. Something is totally out of whack. And you kind of have to like recenter yourself to figure out the next move, figure the situation out. But what triggers this is the need for balance, the need for like, yeah, the need for balance back into your life. Now, for some of you, if it's not like, you know, the Two of Cups in the reverse did make me think of like pain and a breakup or some sadness in your heart, but it could also be like a burnt out energy for some of you with the Two of Pentacles here and feeling out of alignment. It's like you're overworked, you know, you're busy, you're not happy with like your day-to-day life, and that's what triggers this isolation or this deeper wake-up call for you. It's like feeling out of line, feeling burnt out, feeling like you're juggling way too many things at once, feeling like you're in a bit of a turbulent situation in your life, to where you know this, like something about this life has to come to an end, something about this path, something about your daily routine has to come to an end. And it's like you get away to get a bit of a perspective shift, to see things from the outside, to see it in like see the bigger picture of it. Yeah, it's like you're really trying to align your life after a period of turbulence. And that's what kind of triggers you to get away and get away by yourself. Yeah, I also think during this trip, you're really like thinking about long term. You're thinking about, okay, do I go back to this job? Do I go back to this place? Do I go somewhere else? Like 1111, as I'm saying that, with Capricorn coming out here, it does feel like you're really making like long-term plans here. I also think Spirit is giving you a lot of insight and a lot of like understanding and like inner knowledge about like where to go next and how to like align your life up again. Is this a place that group 1 already has on their mind? Knight of Wands. Maybe it is, because especially with that Page of Wands, even if it's like impulsively going there, you could already have your eye on this place, or you already know what it is. It doesn't feel like the place that you're going to is random or impulsive, but it feels like maybe the timing of when you do it or how you approach it, but it feels like you've already had your eyes set on this place for a while. High Priestess again. You gotta go, group 1. I really think Spirit is coming through. They're saying you already know where you are intuitively being drawn to, because there's something very intuitive about this place. I think you've been thinking about it for a while, but maybe pushing it off for a while. You know, we were even saying you've been like kind of denying something or trying not to go and do something, but they're saying we're trying to get to you through your intuition for quite some time now, and you already know this place and you already know that you want to go there. So just do it, right? Like you're almost prolonging something here, and they want you to listen to your intuition, but you 100% already know what this place is. You already know it as we're talking here, as I'm telling you about this. Yeah. But you're nervous. I think it's a mix of everything. It's not like you're specifically just nervous about traveling alone or a solo trip or going to this place alone. I think you're nervous about starting over in life in general, you know, and I think you're realizing like this would somehow kickstart, or this would somehow get the ball rolling here. It almost would make you like become aware that something needs to change, your life needs to change, something needs to heal. Like it kickstarts the prolonging, or like, you know what I mean? Like you've been prolonging something, but this is like, it puts an end to that prolonging, and it like forces you to like start to think about something here. And I think you've been afraid of what this new chapter could bring in your life, but it's very heavily revolving around this place. It's like you're in this routine. It's like you wake up, you go to work, you come home. You wake up, you go to work, you come home. You're just in this routine. And it almost feels like this would break you out of the routine to make you to force yourself to look at the routine from an outside looking in perspective. And that would force you to realize something has to change. But when you're in the routine, you can almost like go into autopilot and like you can like intentionally be blindsided to where you're just living in this routine. And this, like, you know, this would somehow force you to like put a stop to this routine. And that's something that scares you. The change that would come along with this scares you. And I think for some of you, that's why you've been putting it off. So advice for group 1 on how they're navigating this situation. Advice on how they should navigate this situation. Okay, interesting. For everyone, I almost said if you're like a girl or a feminine energy, but I honestly, for anyone, I think self-defense is important for everyone. It doesn't matter what your gender is. But I was gonna say you should take, like, especially if you're kind of being in some kind of an isolated area, you don't know anyone and you're going by yourself, Spirit is definitely advising you to take like something just to protect yourself, like, you know, maybe like pepper spray, maybe like a utility knife that could maybe come in handy for like other things. And there's just something about like having some kind of like something to just like keep yourself a little bit protected, especially if you're like in a foreign place by yourself, you know, just for anyone, you know, I think that's always important to be able to keep yourself safe. What did I ask? I almost forgot what I just asked. I think I asked, how can group 1 navigate this? And we have the Tower. So it feels like you just have to go with it. Like you just have to do it, because the Tower just feels like inevitable. And if you're trying to navigate something that is already falling apart, there's not much navigation to it because it's just falling apart, you know? So it's like you can't really like That's the thing. It feels like you can push it off, but you can't escape it forever. You can't escape the healing that is like the bigger part of this journey. You can't escape it. So advice on how to navigate it is you just got to do it. And you just kind of, you have to let the tower fall. I think there's some kind of a domino effect here. Like it's in stages, like the tower falls, then something happens, then you go on this trip, then you have the spiritual awakening. Like it's in like this sequence of events, and you just have to let the tower fall. I think you trying to hold up a falling tower is what's causing your life to be out of balance in the first place. You will have help. That's interesting, because it's like, even though there's a tower moment, even though something is falling apart, also we have the devil in the reverse. The devil is like the thing you're holding on to. The devil is you trying to hold on to the tower, even though the tower is falling. And it's like, yeah, it's time to let go. It's time to detach. It's time to break free. But what I was saying here is like, you will have help. Spirit is saying like, even though this tower is scary, this rebirth is scary, this, you know, 8th house, death and rebirth, whatever it is you're going through, whatever this new life is that you're being encouraged to start, it's scary. You could feel like you're alone, but you will find help. Whether this is like financial help, whether it's like emotional, mental, spiritual help, but it feels like Spirit will provide for you somehow. They will provide for you, especially like financially, or like literally funding this somehow. Or it's like they're just helping you. They're supporting you through this. You're not all alone on this journey. And they really want you to know that. It will somehow work out for you. Or this could also be like, it's time to pour into yourself, because it feels like up until now you've been pouring into something else, whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship, whether it's family. It's like you've been pouring into so many other things. It's time to pour into yourself. Okay, so then how does group 1 come out of this trip? How do they, oh, I just saw the Emperor. How does group 1 come out of this trip? Seven of Wands. Clarify. 7 of Wands, 2 of Wands, the Lovers, bottom of the deck. 8 of Pentacles, the Empress. Oh my gosh, I could just keep going and going and going. You come out of this trip a new you, like we already said, and you come out of this trip very aligned to your higher purpose in this lifetime. You come out of this trip realizing like exactly what your next steps need to be, exactly where you need to go, exactly how you need to handle something, what you need to say about something, how you have to speak up about something. But it's like now you're officially planting seeds in this new direction, in this new path of yours in life. But it's like you're getting to work. I think up until now there was this dodging it, denying it, you know, being oblivious to something, forcing yourself not to see the truth of something. But this, like, now you're realizing, okay, change has to start now. And I love this because even this feels like this is like, there's something much bigger going on here. Not just, oh, you getting away for a couple days. I mean, this is like a major spiritual retreat that Spirit is orchestrating and encouraging you to go through. But it really puts you back on track. It also feels like it's giving your life purpose again. Because with this and this, it just feels like you kind of lost your purpose. You kind of lost your way. It's like you became like, you know what I mean? Like a machine. Like, what is the word? Like you just became like a simulation, like that autopilot energy. And it's like it's waking up your eyes to finally, like, you know, see your true potential, or like have a sense of purpose again. With the 8 of Wands here, or sorry, 7 of Wands here, it feels like it's like you're realizing just how much you were fighting something. You come back from this situation realizing, wow, like I was really fighting it. And you're going to realize just how much easier life is now that you're not fighting it anymore. And with the 2 of Wands, yeah. It just opens up a whole new world. I'm hearing whole new world from Aladdin. It's like the possibilities are endless. You finally got your passion back, your spark back. You finally feel a sense of purpose in your life again. You're finally out of that autopilot. Okay, that's what I'm seeing for you, Group 1. I like this. I think that it feels inevitable. It feels like Spirit has been calling out to you about this for a while now. So it's time to kind of just do it. Wow, literally as I shuffled, and as I'm literally saying, Spirit has already been calling you out on it for a while. It literally says, align your life. What is not aligned or needs to change? Literally, as I'm saying that. And then look at this. It just says, yes, just say yes. Oh no. Oh my gosh, you guys, I just realized my microphone was not connected. It was connected earlier today, like when I sat down to record, because I always test the microphones before I get started. And I just looked up and I realized it was never connected, like it was never paired to the router thing. Oh no, I don't know how, I don't know when it got distorted. I don't know. I hope everything was still recording like on the actual device microphone, but I apologize. It's now fixed. I hope that wasn't too distracting. Okay, let's get, yeah, it says just say yes. So what I was saying is clearly Spirit's been trying to get you to just say yes about something. For some of you, maybe it's like somebody's offering this to you somehow. Okay, let's go ahead and get, oh my God, literally answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? I feel like I can't make this up anymore than what I've already said to you. So clearly it's now or never. Spirit is saying, let's get on it. But yes, Group 1, thank you so much for letting me give you this reading. Again, I can't believe the mic disconnected. I hope it's not too distracting, but hopefully the audio even recorded. Worst case scenario, I'd be so sad if like the audio wasn't connected at all and like it's just silent. But let's see, I will figure it out while I'm editing, but thank you so much. If you want to book a private reading with me, go ahead and email me. Email is in the description below. If you want to check out Patreon, Patreon gets an extra reading every week. There's so much content over there, you guys. So if you feel like you need more readings or just more content from me, definitely go ahead and check out my Patreon. It's linked in the description below. But thank you so much for being here. Take good care of yourself and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys. Hey guys, if you chose this Chariot with the Housewives Tarot, this Carnelian, along with the sign of Cancer, which we're in Cancer season right now, this is your group. Hello, group number 2. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for all of your support here on YouTube, whether it's your first time here or if you have watched my readings before. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me today. Immediately, this is making me think of that 70s show because I feel like this is the exact car that Eric drives in that 70s show, the Vista Cruiser or the Cruiser, something like that. That could be significant. That show could be significant, but that's like literally the same car. I feel like it's even the same color. Or no, maybe theirs was like a brown altogether, like a total brown one. But anyway, yeah, this is a very interesting deck. This is my first time using it, like in an actual reading. Up until now, I've only shuffled it a few times and like pulled cards for myself with it, but it's really cute. It's really funny, really, honestly, because it's like the Housewives Tarot and it's like the 1970s, I think. I don't even know what time period this is supposed to be from, but anyway. So let's get into it. Like I mentioned, this is all about your next travel / relocation. This totally feels like a trip, right? This feels like a car trip, a train ride, a bus ride. This feels like packing up with your bestie, with friends, with maybe a family member, and just like gathering people together and just like going on a trip. You're like packing food, you know, they're holding these cans. It's like you're packing food for the trip, but it feels like a trip. I don't think this feels like relocation energy. It feels fun. It feels like for leisurely activities, and it just feels like you kind of just wake up and you guys are like, let's just go on a trip, you know, or sometime soon, let's plan something. But you could definitely be driving there since we have the Chariot and this is the car on this image. You could definitely be packing up for a road trip. If you have a dog, I feel like you could take your dog on this road trip too. Okay, let's get into it. So, oh yeah, first I want to start off with the dice here. And I just want to get a little bit information about what kind of trip this is. Like I said, if it's for fun, if it's, you know, for something more serious, if it's more long term, you know, what kind of a trip is this energy for group 2? We have Venus and Mars and third house. Okay, yeah, you're definitely going with like close friends. The third house is all about your immediate surroundings, your immediate community. Oh my gosh, you guys are definitely singing in the car, like, because the third house is also Mercury with like your voice. So it's like you're singing along to the radio, you're playing music in the car. You're really having, it's like a fun car ride that I'm sensing here. With Venus and Aries, some of you could have this specific astrological placement, or you could have Aries in the third house. The trash truck is here today. Or it's like Venus in the third house. But with Venus, this definitely is for fun. It's your heart. It's something that you're excited about doing. And it's also with somebody that you care about or with people that you care about. This could be with a spouse, because again, Venus, 7th house energy, Libra energy, could be like a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a marriage partner, you know, I don't know why I said marriage partner, a husband or a wife, or like your kids. But it feels like you're with someone you really love. It could also be a sibling. And with Aries, yeah, this is like fun. This is a fun, this is not for any major, you know, it's not for like any major like spiritual situation. It's not really for, it's not deep. Like this just feels like a fun ride, you know, with someone that you care about or a few people that you care about. Even the 3 here is making me think of the 3 of Cups. So it could be like 3 friends that are all going together. But something does feel spontaneous. It feels like you're kind of bored and you're just like, let's just go on a road trip and let's just kind of like go explore or do something a little bit more active. Maybe you're like, you know, gonna go hiking somewhere or like spend time in nature. Because with Aries, this does make me think of like doing outdoor activities. So maybe it's like you're driving somewhere that has like access to outdoor activities. But it just feels like for fun, for sure. Okay, let's get into it. Oops, oh my gosh, I accidentally moved it to Gemini, which we were just talking about Gemini. Oh, well, we're talking about Mercury, but Mercury does rule Gemini. Okay, there, yeah, that's interesting that it moved to Gemini. Maybe there's like, I don't know, something to do with, well, you could be singing, but maybe something to do with your voice? Maybe it's like, I don't know. I don't know. Gemini is, you know, it's an air sign. It's about communication. Maybe you're like brainstorming ideas on this trip. You're like networking on this trip. You're like in a Zoom call in the back seat. I'm kidding, but yeah, you're like networking or something. Okay, let's see. I'm going to use this deck here to get a little bit about this trip in general, especially the location. It feels like multi-city, multi-state, because it feels like you're starting in one like jurisdiction and you're ending up in a different one. Maybe it's like a cross-country car ride. Whoop, okay. I had some fall on the ground. All right, let's get into it. Let's get a little bit about this trip or the location here for group. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. Okay, I'll take that. It's just one. 4 of Pentacles. You see a city skyline in the background. Let's get some more about this trip here. Okay, you're not working with a big budget. This feels very like I have to be frugal or I have a very small budget to be working with. So it's like you can't be spending too much money. Maybe that's why you're like stocking up on food. It's like it's cheaper to make a bunch of sandwiches to take with you than to like buy food everywhere you go. There's something about, yeah, maybe not having too much money to do it, but you're still gonna get through it, but trying to be a little bit on the frugal side. Let's see a little bit about this trip here for group 2. Group 2's car trip here, their road trip. It does feel like you're driving a vehicle. So I don't, Chariot again. As I'm saying, it does feel like you're driving a vehicle. Because I was going to say, I don't think this is a bus. And I also don't think it's a train. Because I feel like someone is in the driver's seat. It's either you or you guys are taking turns. You can't really drive a bus or a train, so I feel like it's probably a car. But we have the Chariot again. So this again feels like, oh my God. And it's interesting how the horses are like, it feels like this horse is facing the east, this horse is facing the west. You're literally going from like east to west, going maybe across an entire country for some of you. Yeah, even this. Oh my God, this is so incredibly literal. It's like you're starting, obviously, I know not everyone is in like the United States, but it feels like you're starting in New York, which is the East Coast, and you're ending up on the coast of California, which again is very literal for like that east to west energy. So again, it doesn't have to be in the USA, but it could be just wherever you are. You're starting in one environment, ending in the other. But also the fact that we see a city here and we see a beach slash water slash mountainous area in this one, it does feel like you're hitting all types of terrains. You're hitting all types of geographical locations because you're moving through a bunch of different places. I think there's a reminder, don't spend too much money. I think it's easy to get caught up in the moment, and we end up spending more than we want to sometimes. And I think Spirit wants you to like go on a budget, or it's like just make sure you don't spend more than your budget. But let's get some more information here. It's interesting. There's two horses, even though they're conjoined. There's two horses here. There's two people here in this car, getting into the car, it looks like. So I feel like it's like this could be you and one significant person. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, I'll take this, but oh, you could have been saving up for a while. Because again, maybe you don't have a lot of money to like spend on this immediately, and you and your friend or whoever this person is, you've been saving for a while to go do this. For some of you, if you haven't started saving yet or you haven't started planning this, but like you and someone wants to go take a road trip, I think you should totally do it. Because I feel like Spirit is advising you that it would be fun to kind of get out and explore a little bit. But there's something here about like, don't let your finances hold you back. Obviously, you need to be able to fund the trip, but it's like if you're waiting for like the perfect time to have enough money, I don't know, there's something about like you're waiting for the perfect time, but the perfect time doesn't exist. Just like make sure you have enough to like sustain yourself and like pay for gas and like pay for things. But it's like if you're waiting and waiting, like don't keep pushing it off, because it almost feels like that perfect timing doesn't exist. They kind of just want you to go and get started on something. But with the Seven of Pentacles, it does feel like you've been saving up for this for a while, or you've been talking about it for a while, but it hasn't been put into action yet. Like you guys have kind of just been sitting on it for a while. But yeah, I do feel like money is a factor here, or it's like you're afraid to do it because you're afraid of the finances. But I feel like Spirit is saying as long as you can like afford, the basic things and you don't have to like splurge on other things, I think you could, definitely do it. Because like don't wait for the right time, because the right time doesn't exist. For some reason, it feels like the opportunities will pass you by. So maybe there's certain things you're meant to do along the way. 11:11 on the time. Maybe meeting people on the way, like experiencing things on the way that just won't always be there because everything's time sensitive. It also feels like you need to get out a little bit, group 2. With the Seven of Pentacles here, I love that we see a beautiful garden. And even with this Four of Pentacles, the way this lizard creature is like clutching that pentacle, that coin, it just feels like, you work hard. You have your everyday job, you have your everyday lifestyle, you've created a beautiful garden for yourself, a beautiful life, a beautiful foundation, but maybe that's like all you do is like work, and like you're kind of, you don't allow a lot of time for leisurely activities, you don't take a lot of time for yourself, and Spirit is like, it's time to just kind of take some time for yourself and just go on this trip and just go do it. You could even bring back an exotic plant, or like bring back a specific plant for your garden. But yeah, it's like you need to get out more. You're spending a lot of time, like, which is good. It's good to take care of yourself, and it's good to spend time, you know, with work and your everyday life, but it just feels like you're missing out on a lot of fun. Like you're just missing out on things in life when you're not doing certain things. Also, we have 67, 7, and then we have 70. So summertime, so like June, July, and even Cancer that you chose. And we have Cancer out here twice. And Cancer is like second half of June, first half of July. So I mean, Cancer, I definitely think this could be a summertime thing. When the weather's nice. Let's get one more card. This again feels like a cityscape, the beach, desert, mountainous scape, and then we have like a beautiful lush garden vibes with like beautiful like green scenery. So it really does feel like you're hitting all types of sceneries, which confirms this being some kind of a road trip. I guess it could be a train or a bus. It could be. Because I know like trains take you from like one coast to the other coast. Like you can do that through like the Amtrak and stuff. So maybe there's something like that. 7 of Wands. This looks like a painting. You could end up taking like a painting course on this trip somewhere, like a paint and sip or like some kind of an art class. I was trying to get more like physical messages with this, but we definitely see the difference, this different, oh my God, another 7. Whoa, I just saw 14, 14. No way. 14, 7 plus 7 adds up to 14. And I just saw 14, 14. And you have 7, 7, 7. Oh my God, now I'm thinking about Friends. That episode of Friends where she's yelling 7 over and over again. That's such a funny episode. Okay, lots of 7s, lots of, that's so interesting that I saw 14, 14. Okay, what are we talking about? 7 of Wands. There's this message coming through of like life is what you make it. So like if you want to, you know, continue to stay a little frugal, continue to just like work all day, continue to like not explore the world, like that's fine, because I think Spirit is saying like life's what you make it. So if you want to like not step out of that comfort zone and kind of stick to your routine and stick to what you know and kind of just do the same routine every day, that's fine. That's your life. But they are saying like you miss out on so much in that life, and there is just like this whole world for you to see, different people, different places, different experiences, like, but for some reason you're keeping yourself away from it, or you're like afraid of, I don't know, I feel like everything kind of comes back to money, but it almost feels like a defense mechanism for some of you, to where it's like maybe it's not about funds, like maybe you do have enough funds, but it's almost like an anxiety thing, to where you're like, oh my God, I don't have enough, this is out of my budget. But it's almost like an extreme like anxiety, kind of a panic reaction to spending money like that. Okay, you know, I'm not getting much more for like physical locations. Definitely, like I said, I'm seeing all different types here. Yeah, it's like a tour. It's like a tour of a few states, maybe tour of an entire country. Okay, I think we just got to get into it. I need more information. Also, yeah, this deck is so cute. For some of you, if you feel like you are an artistic person, but you've hit like writer's block, I don't know what you call it for like art, but you've hit blockages and you can't like produce. Oh, sorry about that. That freaked me out. Did you guys hear that? I thought that was one of my cats, but I think it's one of the neighbors' kids. What was I saying? Oh yeah, like if you're hitting some kind of a block in your artistic path, I think you definitely have some kind of like a writer's block energy, and you need to just like get out to cure that block, because it's like you're trying to be creative, you're trying to produce something, you're trying to work on something, but you keep hitting this wall. And I think Spirit is saying, well, you need a reset, you need to get out of the house, you need to go and like literally smell the flowers. You need to go out and like maybe look at a few different things, or, you know, go on this trip to kind of get some inspiration. There's some kind of a block for sure for some of you, especially if you're creative. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, what triggers group 2 to finally go on this trip? What triggers group 2 to finally go on this trip? 10 of Pentacles. Oh my gosh, I just heard, because you've been playing house. You've been you've been working hard. You've been, you know, keeping the house. And it's interesting, this is a housewives deck. Maybe some of you are housewives and you kind of are just like at home, you tending to your garden every day. You're kind of in this daily routine of taking care of people and taking care of the home and taking care of, like, you know, like the stability for everyone, or like making sure everything is working correctly. But then it's like, that's exactly what triggers you, and why you need to go on this again is to kind of get out of that routine. Because it does feel like, when was the last time you did something for yourself? You did something for fun? You did something that's like a part of your daily routine, or like a part, not a part of it. It's like, that's outside of your daily routine. I think that's exactly what triggers you. Page of Wands. I think there's a sense of boredom. There's a sense of like, like just another day, kind of doing the same old thing. And there's a sense of boredom. And maybe you have a friend that also has this sense of boredom too. And you're like, all right, we got to just go. We got to like itch this. Because it feels like you're living comfortably, or like you're doing something that's like a very repetitive thing. Yeah. And I think that's exactly what triggers you to do this. And just to be silly. I mean, look at how silly this kid is. He's like on a fake horse looking thing. And I think there's a need for you to be silly, for you to be a bit adventurous, for you to kind of come out of this rigid structure that you are a part of every day and just like let loose. And I think that really is what triggers you to go on this, or to finally do this. Who is this person? Who is this person that group 2 is going with? This person or these people? Clearly, there's someone else here. Who is 3 of Wands? 3 of Wands is Sun in Aries. So this person could have a Sun in Aries, because we have Aries out here twice. That could be how you know who this person is. This is also somebody you probably haven't seen or talked to in a while, because they're probably also busy in their own life. Because with the 3 of Wands, this feels like they're at a distance from you. So this is like a best friend, someone that you don't get to see all the time, and you're both kind of in this very similar boat of wanting to just get out and let loose, let your hair down, and you're both kind of planning something, and you end up taking this trip together. Yeah, they're at a distance from you for sure. Okay, yeah, I would say this does not feel like a spouse or a boyfriend or a girlfriend. This actually does feel more of a friend, which makes sense because, again, third house is about friends and local communities and like your inner circle in that sense. So it does feel more of a friend that you're going with. And it's interesting, there's only one person on this card. So I think that again confirms it's like you and one other person that are going on this road trip. So why does group 2 need to go on this? 2 of Swords. Yeah, I think there's just this overwhelming sense of like frustration. It's like, I gotta cut the turkey again. I gotta do the same thing again. I gotta, I don't know, wash the windows again. It just feels like you're doing something very repetitively. It's like, I'm just doing my 9 to 5. And look at this, the World, bottom of the deck. To make memories. To do more. I love that we see that same car. It's like, you just got to get out. Make memories, take photos. Someone else can cut the turkey for once. You know what I mean? It feels like there's a lot of responsibilities on you. And for one, it feels like the people around you don't realize how much you do, and they kind of will get some kind of a wake-up call in your absence, and they almost like appreciate you more when you come back. But yeah, it just feels like a stalemate, like stale. Like it literally feels like you're in a stale energy, and you need to do this to make more memories and to just get out a little bit, get out of the routine. How can group 2 navigate this? Navigate this trip, navigate this decision. I'm gonna take this one. Queen of Wands, just do it. This also feels like you have more power than you realize. Like maybe you're afraid to take off at work. Maybe you're afraid to like say something to someone on like, I'm gonna take time off, or like, I need my vacation time. It's like you have the power to speak up for yourself. And I think especially even with this, like this clutching this energy very hard on like being afraid to do it, especially if somebody else is involved here, I think you have to be confident about yourself, be confident about your decision, and really speak up for yourself. Because it's like, unless you speak up for yourself, you're just going to be stuck in the shadows. You're just going to be stuck doing the same things over and over again. It also feels like with the Queen of Wands, it's because you deserve it, you know, and that's how they need you to navigate this. Is like, I'm taking time for me because I deserve it, because I work so hard. So I think there's a need for you to stand up for yourself. Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. And Spirit is saying you do have more power over this than you realize, or you do have more control over this than you realize. Because maybe you're hiding out because you feel like something won't get approved, or you don't have the power to do this, but they're saying you are, or you do have the power to do this. But for some of you, with this literally being a Housewives Tarot, you could literally be a housewife. You could literally have your entire world revolve around your family, like we see in this image down there. Okay. Say group 2 goes on this trip. How do they come back? How do they change? How do they feel after group 2 comes back on this trip? Oh, someone got a little pep in their step. I love that. The Devil. Oh my gosh. And this really feels like, and then we have the Queen of Cups upright, and then we have the Ten of Swords in the reverse. This really feels like really fun, like just doing things that you're not able to do, especially say if you have kids, right? Or like if you're in this rigid structure, like you can't do certain things. You can't go out with your girlfriends. You can't like go out and have fun. And this feels like you just get your spark back for life. You're like trying new things, trying new food, maybe trying new drinks, maybe trying new activities. Like you're just like doing new things and feeling good about it, and like splurging on yourself. And I think when you come back, you realize just how restricted you were in that daily routine of yours, because you didn't realize how restricted your schedule was, or how restricted you were keeping yourself, until you get out of it. And then you realize, wait a second, like something needs to change. And I love that we have the Ten of Swords in the reverse, because, you know, if there was any pain, any burdens, any overwhelming energy about this rigid structure of yours, it's like those are being lifted. I also think you realize like something you're doing, some intentional, something was not, okay, there's some pain or friction, there's some uncomfortable energy about your daily routine that you realize is in your control to change. And then you realize that you were actively participating in something that was hurting you, or actively participating in a schedule, or agreeing to things that weren't allowing your ultimate growth and that were kind of holding you back and restricting you. But you don't realize that you're doing it until you like step away from it and look back at it. Look at it from the outside looking in, and then you're like, oh, wait a second. I've been doing this to myself without even realizing it. You know, so I think there's a few realizations like that, like my schedule needs to change. I have to approach something differently. You know, I need to demand more respect, or like I need to have better work-life balance, or I need to get out there a little bit more. Like say that anxiety that we sensed with like money and finances. Say that in the end of the day, like, again, specific example doesn't have to be for everybody, but say like a way that you were intentionally hurting yourself without realizing it is like you were keeping yourself from having these fun activities or doing things where you spend money on yourself because you're freaking out about your finances. But then after you kind of just do it and like feel good about it, then you're like, oh, all this time I was without realizing it, intentionally hurting myself because I was keeping myself from doing certain things. But now that I've done it, I realize that's kind of the one thing I'm missing, is to just go do it. There's something like that. I hope that makes sense. Because the way she's pulling the pin out of this pin thing, it just feels like you have the control to stop doing something, or you have the control to like have a perspective shift to remove the pain something's causing you, or like make something not as uncomfortable, to remove some frustrations. And that's what you're realizing after you come back. And then also I love that we have 2 queens, because you're realizing that like you deserve this break, you deserve to get away, you deserve the fun, the little, whatever these little, you know, this devil energy is, you deserve all of that. You deserve to get away from time to time. But you also deserve to be treated like a human being, treated with livable hours, workable, like livable working hours. Like there's something here about like you get your confidence back to demand better for yourself somehow. And maybe it's like not that serious for some of you, but for some of you it could be. Because the queen out here twice is like, you are the queen. The crown is on your head. You can demand changes if you want to. You can go about something differently if you want to. You could totally take a step back from something if you wanted to. It's like, it really just gives you that confidence back about like who you are. Because I think you kind of forget about it, especially if you have a family or kids. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. I like it. Oh, the star. Yeah, I like that. It's time to like get out. It's time to hope again and wish again and do things for fun again and just kind of get that zest for life again. Let's get some advice for group 2 here. I also think like the experiences that you have on this, it helps you expand. You know what I mean? It helps you like have bigger goals for yourself. It almost gives you like, yeah, it's like, I want to do more. I don't want to keep myself in a box anymore. Okay, let's get some advice. Keepers of the earth, you're not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. Oh, interesting. For some of you, there could be something about breaking like generational patterns. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? Because you are supported. You've been supported. Ah! Birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. Yeah, really like coming out of that rigid, like set in stone energy. And then we also have awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. I love it. Okay, group 2. This is what I'm seeing. I hope it was helpful. I hope it resonated with you. If you're interested in booking a private reading, go ahead and email me. My email is in the description below. If you're interested in Patreon, go ahead and check it out. They get an extra reading every week, so there's always new content on Patreon, and there's so many readings. There's like 80 plus readings that you can binge watch if you want more content from me, but go ahead and check that out. But thank you so much for being here. Take good care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys. Hey, guys. If you chose this Page of Pentacles with this purple seer stone, the astrological placement of earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and this cat tarot, this is your group. Hello, group number 3. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for all of your support here on YouTube, whether it's your first time here or if you have been watching my readings. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me today. So let's get right into it, you guys. So today, like I mentioned earlier, we're talking about your next travel/relocation. So yeah, let's get into it. This Page of Pentacles, this does feel like relocation in a way, because it feels like you're trying to build something little by little for the long term. So for some of you, it's like you're working, you know, you're saving, you're building something like brick by brick. Because Pentacles, especially with this Page of Pentacles and this like little piece of kibble right here, it feels like something is like in the works, but it's slow, or it's progressing in its own time. You can't really rush it, but there is like a greater picture at the end. I just saw 111 as I said that, so that feels very interesting. It definitely feels like relocation energy for this group. So I am just going to move this to the side, and let's get started with a different deck first. Oh, actually, first I want to go in with my Astro Dice. I totally forgot. So with the Astro Dice, let's get a little bit more information about this energy for group 3. Is this a more of a traveling energy, or is this more of a long-term relocation energy for group 3? We have 10th house, we have Neptune, and we have Cancer. Some of you could have Cancer in Neptune, or you could have Cancer or Neptune in the 10th house. That's interesting. 10th house is Capricorn energy. It's all about, you know, being in the public eye. It's all about your status, your reputation. It could be about your career, but there is some level of like fame and recognition and success, you know, eyes on you energy that's added to this. But Neptune is interesting because Neptune feels like kind of a bit of a daydreaming energy. So there's this, it's like you're dreaming about something, but it hasn't solidified just yet. And with Cancer, Cancer is 4th house, and you know, that's all about your comfort zone and your physical home, your family. There could be a bit of like feeling like having a hard time detaching from like this comfort zone, especially if your family is involved, or you have a sense of like, you know, loyalty or love or attachment to your family or to your hometown, because it feels like there's something you want to achieve with this 10th house here, but it's quite big, or it's like it would really redirect your life out of your comfort zone. And even though this is, you know, Capricorn long-term energy, it's like something about it's like you have a vision of something for it to be long-term, but with Neptune here, it feels very much like in a dream, like a daydream, like it's not solidifying just yet. It's kind of just in your thoughts and in your mind and not able to bring it out into the 3D just yet. And then same thing with Cancer here. It feels like stuck in a comfort zone, and the comfort zone is like adding more fog to the situation to where you're not able to really like do something in the real world about it. Does that make sense? Like it almost feels like that like nurturing blanket, it's like hard to take that off, or like that like heated blanket energy. It's like something is very warm and comfortable, and I have these dreams, but I'm having a hard time coming out of my comfort zone to like actually pursue these dreams. Interesting. And we said that earlier for some of you, like something's taking a while. You know, something is slow here, even if you have this end goal in mind. And maybe it's like intentionally slow, like maybe you are giving it like kibbles at a time instead of like bricks, you know, like you're not giving as much as you could to this situation because, you know, there's just some like safety net, I think, that is getting in the way. Okay, let's go ahead and see what's going on here for group 3. So first I want to see like where is this energy going for group 3? Where is this? Let's see. So if this is about relocation, where is group 3 relocating to? Can we get a physical place, physical characteristics? Where is group 3 being advised to relocate to? I'm definitely seeing people. I'm definitely seeing it being like a busy area. So like a city or like a major hub that has like a lot of people there. Because there's something about like communicating, networking, or just like making new friends and just like being in a place that's like has more of a hustle and bustle versus like a quiet suburban lifestyle. Because maybe even right now you're in an environment that's quiet and reserved, and like it's not, you know, it's not the hub, and that maybe that adds to that comfort zone a little bit. That makes it hard to walk away from that comfort zone, but I'm definitely getting like some kind of a city vibe. But let's see here. Let me get a physical, what is the physical place that group 3 is being advised to relocate to? Especially with the 10th house. This is like where dreamers go. That's how it's coming through, especially with Neptune in the 10th house. It's like people go here to make it big. People go here to accomplish their dreams or to get like, you know, get something started. Because maybe there's hubs here for these like-minded people. You know, whether it's like in art or whether it's somehow, you know, being famous or in the public eye or being creative. It's like, this is where people naturally go to like make it big. But specifically, it feels like this is where dreamers go to make it big or to kind of accomplish their dreams. We have the Emperor. There's a level of intimidation. There's this like make it or break it energy here. It's intimidating because it's like the people here are definitely, there's success. There's a lot of success here, especially with that 10th house and with this Emperor. But it feels like the youngins, the people that are dreamers, like somebody like you know, I think they get intimidated by this place because there's a lot of success. There's a lot of, but there's all, how do I describe this? It's intimidating, for sure. Because with the Emperor, these are people that are already established, already have something going for them in the long term, already have some kind of a foundation built, and it's like the stakes are high, or like the bar is quite high, because there's already people here that are already doing certain things, you know, like the bar is quite high, and for a little like newbie, it almost feels like it's kind of tough to navigate the situation. But it's like you need guts, you need like thick skin, you need like you really need to have like a strong sense of like who you are. You have to be like self-assured, like you have to be really strong in who you are to like make it here. That's why it's like this make it or break it energy. And now it really feels like a lot of this is really tied to your career somehow. I don't know why. So maybe for this group, it's like you have to relocate in order to get your career started, to get your career established somehow. Because it's like there's something long-term in your career that's being asked to like being manifested, but it's like you have to like do this first in order for you to manifest that. Let's get some more and I will continue to talk about this. It could be a dry climate because I'm seeing the mountains here. It's like a desert vibe. Even this, I know this is a ram, but it's making me think of Capricorn's mountain goat. Eight of Swords in the reverse though. Totally. Okay. Yeah, I do think this is directly tied to your career, group 3. I think you already know that. And I think it's like, it makes sense, like that was the initial energy that came out. Because even with the 8 of Swords, this is that, the limiting beliefs. This is that comfort zone that you're afraid to come out of. And this place would really require you to be out of that comfort zone. It's like, for some reason, living here, it's not like this behind the scenes energy. Like you're literally like front and center. You have to like truly adapt to this way of living. I'm really thinking about like LA. I'm thinking about LA, or I'm thinking about New York. I'm thinking about like major hubs where, again, dreamers go there to make it big. I'm sure there's other places around the world, but living in the States, those are like the only two that I can really think of that kind of fits this vibe. But it's like you can't hide here. You can't hide away. You have to be so sure of who you are to make it out alive, like to just make it out of this thing, or else it does feel like it's almost this like machine that really, it could really push you out and kind of neglect you and kind of forget about you if you're not able to keep up with the times, if you're not able to keep up with what's going on here. But it feels like if you do make it here, then you could make it big. Like, for example, if we're thinking about like LA. You know, like say you're an artist or you're an actor or a musician and you end up going to a place like Los Angeles to make it big there. If you make it big, you could make it huge, but you have to be strong in who you are and you have to be able to come out of this comfort zone and not have limiting beliefs and not hold yourself back, because it almost feels like there's no room for intimidation here. It's like you're playing with the sharks, you're playing with the big dogs. Like there's something here where like there's no room for um being afraid. But it really feels very directly tied to the career thing. Can we get some more about this place? Group 3 is being advised to, or potentially, yeah, 9 of Pentacles. And then bottom of the deck, we have the 8 of Wands. I love it, because as intimidating as this place seems, it feels like there's so much you could gain out of it. Again, with the 9 of Pentacles and the Emperor, this really feels like people here have money. People here are quite wealthy. They live these affluent lifestyles. And again, that's intimidating for a newbie or for somebody who's just kind of stepping into the scene. But with the 9 of Pentacles, it does feel like there's a lot of people that have very strong foundations, even like generational wealth probably, that kind of live in this area. And with the 8 of Wands, what I really like is like it's fast moving. Things are constantly changing, constantly evolving. There's constantly opportunities being presented itself. It's like it's not a stale energy. It is constantly like this revolving door. But I feel like that's the exact place to be, to do what you want to do. But I sense you're very intimidated by a place like this, and it's valid. But there's something about like your talents or your gifts or the vision that you have that like could do really well here. Even if it's like kind of a bit of a hurdle at first, Spirit is advising you like, hey, this could really work out long term. Because like I said, if you make it, oh, you made it. You know, with the 9 of Pentacles here, the Emperor, you could really establish a legacy for yourself, establish something long term, make amazing connections. And there's so many networking opportunities. There's so many job opportunities here, especially for somebody like you. I'm also sensing there's something about your appearance that's very unique, and like maybe that's something that you are like working with. For example, like if you want to be an actor or a model or something where like it's your physical appearance that does a lot of the heavy lifting, it does feel like you have a very unique physical look to you that could get you opportunities or get you like some kind of a management thing or like something, right? Because it's like maybe say an agent, like a modeling agency, is like looking for your look specifically, and even though you're belittling yourself and you're thinking I'm not good enough, you're exactly what they're looking for. So that kind of like gives you a jump start even without you working that hard or like having to do too much, because you already possess that look that they're looking for. It's something like that. There's something that you have that people are looking for that would really help you. Or if this is like your artistic skills, say you're a musician and you come out with some great beats and some great lyrics, and it's like there's something that you possess that like I'm hearing even AI can't replicate it. Even a machine, even like a whole team of people can't replicate something as good as you can do it. And that's something to be capitalized on. And that's exactly why part of this career path is like meant for the masses. It's meant for people to like know you and to experience you in that way. But I'm hearing Spirit is saying you can definitely be private. You can definitely probably even be anonymous if you want. Like say if you're an artist or a musician or you're a writer or a lyricist or something, maybe you can work and still be behind the scenes, but your products or like your music is doing really well. Something you're putting out there is doing really well. But it just feels like it's meant for the people to see and to experience and to enjoy. But yeah, I would say like it's tough. It's a tough place to be, but Spirit is advising you. It's almost like that's the only place to be, to kind of do something here for yourself the way you want to do it. And the other places that you might go to or that you're thinking of, it's like it's not as big. It's not as big of a make it or break it energy. It also feels like if you were trying to make this happen in a different place that didn't have this many opportunities, didn't have the resources and the people and the networking and all these things, right? Like if you were trying to do this somewhere else, it just would take you a lot longer because the resources are not there. So you're working like twice as long, twice as hard, whereas this is the place where the connections are, where the people are. Like this is the place to be. It's like the hub, you know? Yeah, this could definitely be like fashion industry as well. Okay, so I'm seeing like two like lives here, and it's both you, but it's like there's an option A and an option B for your life. Option A is like continue to do what you're doing now. I think you're in this comfort zone. You are in kind of this like shell cave thing. Like I'm seeing like there's some kind of like a protective armor around you. I don't want to say it's a cage because that sounds kind of bad and has like this negative energy to it. So I'm not saying you're in a cage, but you're in something that's kind of hard and structured, and it's like you're not allowing something to penetrate it. But it's like it's this comfort zone, and you're living here, you're somewhat happy here, but you're a dreamer here. You're not able to do much because you're just dreaming about it. It almost feels like you've built such a rock solid comfort zone or something where it's like all you can do is dream. You can't necessarily like make something out of it. And that's like you're continuing this lifestyle of just dreaming, and it just turns into years and years of just like dreaming and about a life that you want or a career path that you want, but not actually pursuing it. And then option B would be to really break down those walls that you have built so tightly around you, and to come out of that comfort zone and just be like, well, like let me just try. Like it's this like why not energy? Why don't I try? And I think it's best to go into something without expectations. Like don't go into relocating here or going to the central hub thinking I'm gonna make it. You know, there's also something here about like let's be realistic, let's have fun with the process, but let's try hard, let's work hard to get what we want, with no expectations other than just to succeed on some level, you know, and let something build on its own. But it's like why not, let's just try. Because it's like it feels like even you just trying is better than you staying in this very rigid cave thing that you have built around you. But it's like we might as well just try, just see what happens. For some of you, you might already know somebody there, which could make the situation a little easier. Because it feels like with the Nine of Pentacles and this Emperor, and even with this being Mercury in Sagittarius, it just feels like you could know somebody there. You could have a friend there. Maybe you have someone who could let you like live with them or like rent out a room to you, or like, you know, you have family there that lets you like stay there for some time. There's some help that is already there if you were to like ask for it. Okay. Let's see. I feel like I kind of already answered this, but I want to ask specifically, why is group 3 being advised to? I feel like for a lot of you, you already have this place on your mind. Like you already know about this place. You already kind of like, you already are intuitively being called to it. But let's see, why is group 3 being called to this place specifically? It does feel like this place would require you to travel like on a plane. I guess you could take a train or a bus, but it feels like you would travel there by plane. And it would put you in some kind of a long distance relationship with your family. Like you would have to travel back and forth to see your family. They would have to travel to you. The Hanged Man. Why is group 3 being drawn to this place here? With the Hanged Man, it definitely feels like you've been in a limbo for too long. You've been in like a passive energy of like not making much progress. You've been in this period of rest, or like a period of just like dreaming, wishing, hoping, but not taking action. You've been in this period for quite a long time, and it just feels like it's almost like this restless itch that you're getting, because Spirit's like, yeah, like it's time to come out of this period of rest. The Hermit. Wow, these are two cards that really talk about isolation. The Hermit literally lives in a cave. You know, the Hermit lives on top of a mountain in isolation by itself. So it's like the reason you're being drawn to this like right now, and even like you found this reading right now and you're watching this, is because it's time to come out of the cave. It's time to come out of the period of rest and out of this hermit stage, because it's time to take action. I feel like you've been very passive for quite some time. For some of you, you could have been passive about this for like years. I feel like some of you are older that are resonating with this, and it's like you've been stuck for quite some time, and Spirit is saying like the reason that itch is like building so much right now is because it's time to like at least think about it. It's time to like see what's possible with this new change. And now I know I was like very specific about like, oh, this is like some kind of a career in the public eye. Like, it doesn't even have to be. I think at the end of the day, you're living in a place that you have totally outgrown. You have outgrown the opportunities, you've outgrown the experiences, but it is a comfort zone, and that's why you're there. 10th house, you know, Saturn Cap, it's very long-term energy. So it's like you've just outgrown this place, and you're being asked to relocate to a place like this, even if it's intimidating and a little scary, so you can like plant seeds for the long term. You can like have a new life for yourself here, because you have outgrown your life and outgrown the place you're in right now. And you've been stalling or waiting or afraid. Even the way this cat is hiding in this bag, it just feels like they're so scared to like step out of this comfort zone, which is very similar to this lion here being in this cage with that 8 of Wands or 8 of Swords in the reverse, talking about a mental prison. It could even be a physical prison for some of you, and it's time to like relocate to establish a new life for yourself. So I think Spirit is saying, let's like strip it down. You know, if the career messages align with you, great, then definitely get on that. But if this is just on a much broader sense of just starting a new life somewhere else, because you've outgrown this life, take that too, because that's also very strong here. Now, if we're talking about career for everyone, it's like, yes, there are better opportunities here for career and for you to establish yourself in a different way. If group 3 was to take this leap of faith, what should I ask? Okay, actually, I want to see that path A, path B. I want to see it like in the cards. So path A is if group 3 does not do this and continues to live in this comfort zone of theirs and does not venture out, what would be the likely outcome of path A if group 3 does not venture out? Okay, we have the Queen of Wands and the Four of Swords, which is interesting. The Four of Swords is very similar to the Hanged Man, very similar to the Hermit. It is a period of rest. One thing I will say is the Queen looks very comfy. I mean, this cat here looks very comfy, hanging out by the fire in a deep sleep. And the Four of Swords also talks about a period of rest, but you see where it's just very comfortable. I could see why maybe, you know, you don't want to break out of something that is comfortable here. But then let's see, what is the option? What's option B? What happens if group 3 does pursue this new lifestyle? Where could this take them? We have the Six of Wands. Let's clarify. Because it feels like option A of you not taking this leap of faith is just like it's like plateaued. It's comfortable. You can live in this situation. It's warm and cozy. It's that weighted blanket. I literally mentioned that earlier. It's like it's warm, it's cozy. You don't have to break out of it because you're doing fine, but you've hit a cap. You can't like come out of it. You know what I mean? Like you can't like do more here. It's almost like this is it. There's probably no room for growth, but you're comfortable. And then we have the Six of Wands. Let's clarify, get one more card for each group. And we have the Three of Cups. And then we have the Eight of Wands, again, bottom of the deck. So it's like here, there's a lot of independence and there's this comforting energy with just you and maybe like your immediate family, immediate surroundings, but it's like it's plateaued. Here we have the Six of Wands, we have the Eight of Wands again, and then we also have the Three of Cups. There is a new community here. there is a new like friend group. There's like-minded people here that's the human connection and the human interaction with other people like you. That's the one thing you're missing out on in this scenario, because here we can see, like, especially here, the cat is all by itself, and even here the cat's alone in all of these. And here we finally see friendship and companionship and loyalty and this like networking energy with other people. So I think the connections with like-minded people is the one thing you're not receiving here. And then I love to see these two cards, because the Eight of Wands again talks about rapid movement, rapid exchanges, rapid networking and opportunities coming in. But also the Six of Wands talks about success. It's Jupiter in Leo. It is actually, we're in Jupiter in Leo right now. So this is a very like successful transit. It's a very much like, I'm creative, I'm outgoing, I'm getting recognized for my work. And it's like, you know, the person riding on the horse and all the eyes are on them. It's like there's so much success waiting for you on this path. There's a lot of recognition. There's a lot of speed, like that revolving door energy. Things are just building quickly. So I think the main difference is like, this is a quiet, cozy life, but there's like some kind of a cap. You can't really go past it. And this is like, it's a little unpredictable. It's fast. It's, you know, a little like, it's not as warm and cozy, but it can take you to new heights that you're not able to experience here. And the fact that we have Jupiter in Leo here, and this is the exact transit that we're in right now, also feels like it's a very like auspicious time, right? Like something feels almost like it's the right time to do something, you know. So then what is the advice here for group? What is the advice here for group 3 in regards to this? We have the Knight of Swords. You gotta make that phone call. I feel like for some of you, you either like already know somebody there, and if you do, then it's like you need to make that call, send that text, that email, like reach out to this person that could potentially help you here. Or this is like, let's get on the communication. Like, let's start networking. Let's start figuring something out. Let's get into motion. What is the advice here for group 3? Oh my gosh, the Empress. So cute. Empress is number 3. You are group 3. You also have the Emperor here. I'm hearing like you belong. You really belong in this place. You have the skills, the talents. You have like what it takes to establish yourself in this place. You just have to believe in yourself in the process, you know? But I love this card. Because it's like, let's check out the potential, you know, instead of just sitting in this comfy, cozy situation. Let's see how far we can push it. Let's see what else we can do. Obviously, you know, don't be reckless. Don't do anything, you know. I feel like if this is your energy, you just know. Like you've already been intuitively being called to have this kind of a new beginning here for yourself. But yeah, so let's end off with some advice. I hope this was helpful. Take a break. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. This feels like work harder. I mean, it's not work harder. This feels like work smarter, not harder. You know, that saying where, and I said that earlier, like where you are, it's like it could take you 2 times longer to get to the same result because it's like something about the environment doesn't click anymore. Transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. Yeah, this really feels like let's take a step back to see what's not working. Where are we working too hard? How can we transform this current energy so we're actually getting the results that we want, you know? Awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. So yeah, transformation, awakening, that definitely feels like like this is a wake-up call happening here. And we have play. Have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. Interesting. Maybe for some of you, you do need a break from work. Maybe you are overworking yourself right now and there's a need for you to take some time off. Maybe even like go on a little bit of a vacation if you can. There's something about like, let's regroup. Okay, I hope this was helpful, you guys. I feel like the energy was a little bit specific, so if it really doesn't resonate with you, definitely check out a different group. But I feel like if this is your group, you know, like it already just clicks because it's like a very specific energy. But if you're interested in a private reading, go ahead and email me. My email is in the description below. If you're interested in Patreon that has exclusive content, go ahead and check that out. That is also in the description below. They get a new reading every week over there on Patreon, so there's always new content and there's so much if you want to binge watch. Go ahead and yeah, check it out. But thank you so much for being here, you guys. I hope this was helpful, and give this video a thumbs up, give it a like, give this channel a subscribe. What am I saying? But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hey guys, if you chose this Four of Cups with the Marseille Arcana Tarot, this is the moon in Cancer, along with this opal. This is your group. Hello, group number 4. I just realized that you are group 4 and you chose card number 4, so that's really cool. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. Whether it's your first time here or if you have watched my readings before here on YouTube, thank you so much for all of your support. Let's get right into it. The Four of Cups, you know, it's interesting because the Four of Cups can talk about like boredom. It can kind of talk about, I don't know, it's like an interesting energy. There's not much happening, or it's like there's like a strong fixation about something, but I think I have to kind of get into the rest of it because I'm not getting much off of just this card here. So I want to start off with my Astro Dice, and I want to see what is the energy here for group 4. Is it more of a travel energy, or is this more of a relocation energy for group 4? Okay. We have Sagittarius, Jupiter. Oh, that's cool. Jupiter actually rules Sagittarius. So for some of you, Jupiter could be like your chart ruler. Some of you could have like a lot of Sag placements, a Sag stellium. And then we have the first house, which is all about yourself, your identity, how you present yourself to the world, how the world views you in this lifetime. Also Aries energy. So we have double fire. We have Aries, we have Sag, and Jupiter is all about expansion. Jupiter is like, it expands everything it touches. There's definitely a need for expansion here. And maybe that's part of that boredom, that discontent energy. There's like a disconnect with something here. Something's the same, something's repetitive. You know, something just kind of needs to change. Or like you want change because something just almost feels kind of empty, which is interesting that it's coming through like that. It's almost like a repetitive cycle of your day-to-day. Like I'm just kind of doing the same things over and over again. And like there is a need for change here. There's a need for fun. There's a need for speed. There's a need for like momentum. There's a need for passion, for excitement. There's a need for like, it almost feels like that spark within you has not been lit in a while. And like you want some kind of change in that sense. And I think because I'm still not getting, is this a specific trip? Sagittarius does feel like a trip because it's like long distance traveling. But I feel like for some of you, this could even be relocation too. I think I need more information. So let's just get right into it. First, I actually do want to ask, is this more of a travel energy? Excuse me. Is this more of a travel energy or is this more of a relocation energy? You need a pick-me-up. Like that's what this feels like. It feels like something has just been so repetitive that you need a pick-me-up. So maybe, let's see. Is this more of a travel energy for group 4 or is this a relocation energy? There's also something about like your identity. Like you want to change up your appearance. You want to change up how you present yourself, how you are like acting about something. Like there's something about like you want to change your physical sense or physical self here. Whoa, Magician. Okay, that's interesting. This totally feels like some kind of a new beginning here. It also feels like you have all of the tools in front of you to do something, to get started on something, to change something. I think whatever is causing the stagnancy, you have the control to change it, which again makes sense with that first house, because I feel like that's you. Like, you have the power to change something here. And it does feel like you want some kind of a new beginning. You want that spark back. You want that expansion. Something does feel very mundane, very kind of almost boring on a day-to-day basis. And you want change. But it's up to you to create this change that you're seeking. Let's see. What is group 4 being advised to do? Is this travel or is this a relocation? What is group 4 being advised to do here? You're being advised to have more fun, group 4. Have more fun. Don't be so serious about something, or like add more like leisurely time into your schedule. It just feels like your schedule is very like rigid and like not like boring. I don't like to use that word because I feel like it has negative connotations to it. So I'm not saying your routine or your schedule is boring. It just like, you just need to have more fun. You just need to let loose a little bit more. Because this feels like play. Even this little raccoon, it just feels like I want to play. The devil, interesting. And I love that there's like the scissors here about to cut off. Oh, and all these eyes. It feels like maybe you're living a life that like other people are expecting of you. With all the eyes, this could be family, this could be a boss, this could be friends. Like, there's just like eyes on you to make sure like you are hitting certain expectations, but maybe that's not what you want to do. But it's like you're trying to make other people happy in this dynamic. And it's like you feel stuck or trapped because this is not the life that you want to live, but this is the life that somebody else wants of you. Or this could be like a toxic boss, a toxic workplace environment where people are constantly watching you, making sure you're doing what you're meant to be doing. You feel very restricted. Like the way these cute little sheeps, is this a sheep or is this a goat? I don't know. But the way they're like chained together, it feels incredibly restrictive. Feels like there's no self-expression, which that's exactly what the first house is. It's all about your freedom of sense and your freedom of self-expression. There's no expansion. You can't go past a few feet of the other goat here. So it's like, yeah, you're incredibly tied down. And it makes sense that your soul is craving expansion. It's craving fun. It's craving spontaneity. It's craving like, I just want to go do something, you know, maybe even quite impulsively. There's even a level of like depression that could be because of the way everything is so dark here. You know, you could be sad. You could be like emotionally upset. You could be depressed. You could be losing motivation in your daily life because of whatever this rigid energy is that you are a part of. And for some of you, maybe you've already accepted that this can't change, like cannot change. Because in traditional Four of Cups, you know, it's that person that's like staring at the 3 cups on the ground and they're not seeing that 4th cup being offered by spirit. They're not realizing like something is coming in for change. Something like it's like they're not realizing that. So even this, the way they're chained together, it's a sense of like, do I have control? Do I have freedom? Can I possibly change this? Can this possibly get better? Because maybe you've already accepted that it can't, that something is set in stone. Like you don't have opportunities to break away from this, but Spirit is saying you do. Spirit is this actually saying we're giving you that 4th cup right now, but you're not seeing it because you're so like tunnel vision or fixated on like something here that you're not seeing that there is like this breakaway energy that you could give to yourself. Can we get a little bit more here? What's going on? Is this travel or is this relocation? Aw, the little beavers are so cute. So we have the 6 of Swords, which definitely talks about traveling, but it can also talk about relocating. I think this energy could be a mix of like 50-50, but I do think at the end of the day, your current life routine does have to change to some extent. Whether it's a trip that kind of wakes you up and helps you to realize that you don't want to be living like this, or whether it's you realizing I want to move altogether. Because even if you like take a trip, and then you come back to this place, you're still realizing, I don't want to do this. I don't want to continue this. I want something different. So I think either way, whether you're staying in the same place or relocating, you're realizing your physical life needs to change. The routine you're in, the life you're building, the hard work that you're putting in on a day-to-day basis, you feeling trapped and emotionally unfulfilled and stuck and like no room for growth here. You're realizing all that has to change. With the Eight of Pentacles here, it also feels like you've been working towards this for a while. Maybe you get like good financial benefits out of it. Like maybe it's like giving you, some level of stability that works for you. But maybe it's lacking in other things, such as that emotional fulfillment. Or I could also interpret this as like you've been working quite hard in this current energy, but it's not giving you the benefits that you want. It's not giving you the end result. It's not giving you the foundation. Because the way all these are not like properly set. Like for some reason, it feels like you've been working, but it's like it's not building anything. It almost feels like this, like you're just pouring into something, but it's not building this foundation. So then it's like all your hard work and time and effort is kind of going nowhere, or it's really not going to the end goal that you have in mind. Even the Six of Swords talks about going from a turbulent situation to a much more peaceful resolution. And the way there's like lava here, it really feels like the pressure is building. It's building until you realize, okay, I gotta go. I gotta walk away from this. I gotta start over. You could also feel like your talents, your skills are not being recognized, or it's like it's not going to good use. Or it's like the things that you're actually good at, you're not doing those things. So it's like your real talents, your real like passions and all these things are not being tapped into because you have to work to do this, but you're not doing what you actually want to do. It almost feels like untapped potential for some of you. It's like you waking up realizing I have wings and I can fly away. Because here it feels like, and I love that there's a pair of shears, because it feels like you're so close to realizing that like something here does not have control over you. Because here it's like these goats are chained to something and they feel like I cannot escape this. This is my life. This is my new identity. This is forever, like that's their mindset. And then this one, this cute little bird, is like, wait, I have wings. I can spread my wings and fly. I can, detach myself from this. And it's like you're slowly realizing that. And it does feel like when you realize that you have control over your current situation, that's when you finally step into your power and you finally realize, oh, I can go here, I can go there, I can travel, I can get my mind off this, I can actually move completely if I want to. Interesting. I want to clarify. I'm going to do this a little different. Death, bottom of the deck, Ace of Cups. 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like there's just an energy of like a lack. Whether it's like a financial lack and your hard work is not giving you what you deserve financially, whether it's an emotional lack, whether it's feeling restricted and stuck. It's just like, it's really building. And you're realizing, and even this has a bird with its wings spread out. Because it just feels like you're realizing something has to change in order for you to tap into your ultimate potential here. And that's essentially, this death and rebirth is essentially what gives you this emotional fulfillment in your current life. So you have to go through this death and rebirth in order to get to this new energy. Because something's not working. Okay, so I want to do this a little bit differently with that I've done with the other groups, is I actually just want to clarify each card, which I didn't do that previously, but I'm feeling drawn to do it this way. Okay, for group 4, let's clarify this magician. Group 4 is next travel or relocation. Let's clarify the magician. This is the 8 of Pentacles. So you have the 8 of Pentacles out here twice. Clarify this devil, please. For group 4, clarify this devil. Page of Batons. This is the Page of Wands. And I saw it as in the reverse. This devil really is you feeling like you cannot venture out. You cannot try something new. You can't explore. This is you and your mentality of feeling very stuck. Clarify the 6 of Swords. The Hierophant in the reverse. Now, I don't know if this is in the reverse or not because it would be the exact same thing, but I could also interpret this in the reverse because with the 8 of Pentacles, that's a card about your craft, your skill. You know, you're perfecting something, you're working very hard towards something. But then with it in the reverse and with the Magician, it feels like all that work is just empty work and it's not going to a specific skill. It's not helping you craft your skills and your talents. It's just like empty work, empty efforts. That's kind of not going anywhere useful in the long term. Like a very specific energy that's coming to mind that I can use as an example is, say you work somewhere that is so far out of like not what your talents and your skills are. Okay, say you are a chef. Okay, no. Say you are a very talented cook and you would love to become a real chef. You would love to go to like culinary school and maybe your whole life you've been such a talented cook. Like that's your passion. You would love to like work at a restaurant or even be like a private chef. Like that's like your thing. You want to be a chef. That's your passion. But you're working at like the post office. Like you're doing something that's so far off from being a chef and your real skills are not being used. Your real talents are not being used because you're at the post office, you're sorting mail, you're talking to clients or people all day, like you're putting stamps on things. Like that's not your real skill. That's not your true talents. That's not what you want to do. But now you're putting all this time, and who knows how long you've been working at the post office. Maybe it's been years of you having jobs that has nothing to do with being a chef, nothing about culinary school, nothing about pursuing your true talents and your true purpose in this lifetime, you know? So then it's like all this empty work because you still wake up every day, you still work a 9 to 5, you still put all this time and effort into getting yourself to work every day, but maybe it's like it's like a minimum wage situation. You're not being financially compensated well. You're putting all this time and effort and work into something that's not giving you anything long term. Like it's not pouring back into you. And then it's like, well, Spirit's like, wait, if you take this time and maybe you do go to culinary school or maybe you do work at a restaurant and you get hands-on experience with a chef or in the kitchen, like it's like we have to kind of move this into what we're actually good at instead of working at the post office forever. Like it almost feels like you have these skills and Spirit wants you to actually use them, whether it's school or whether it's just getting hands-on experience in a kitchen. You know, I know not everyone can afford school, but you know, maybe you could work at a restaurant in the back and that is something that really helps you and that actually gives you like the skills to perfect your craft, but also to get like a real like head chef job, like something where you could really become something for yourself. Because here it feels like you're just one of the same. Like say there's like 10 people working, whoops, I'm getting way too heated. It's like 10 people working at the post office and everyone is just like cashier A, cashier B, or like it's like you don't even have a sense of identity because everything really comes back to your sense of identity right now. It's like you're just feeling so stuck because you're just one as everyone else. And right now, you have to pivot to creating a sense of identity for your life. And it's the identity that you want. Because in the current thing, you're just one of a whole bunch of people that are doing the exact same thing. But at a restaurant, you could be head chef. You could be Mike, the head chef. I don't know why the name Mike is coming to my mind. You know, like you could be I don't know, you know what I mean? I'm like going off on a tangent now. If you're Mike, hi Mike. I don't know why that name is coming to my mind, but anyway, yeah. And that's and this in the devil, it just feels like, well, I've been here for so long, I don't think I can leave. Or like I've been a part of this, like I'm like I feel so chained to this, I feel so stuck here that like I can't leave. And with the page of batons in the reverse, this really feels like your own mental prison, your own sense of like, you know, like your own, it feels kind of like self-inflicted because it does feel like it's coming from you. Like you're the one that's feeling like you cannot do something, you cannot pursue something, you are stuck here. But because you feel that way, you don't have the passion or the motivation or the excitement to actually go do what you want to do. So it's like the circle, you're just kind of keeping yourself in this repetitive cycle. Now I know this is supposed to be like a travel or relocation energy, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, this could definitely be about like a living situation. Say you're currently living somewhere that's making you feel like this, or like the place you're living is tied to the job that you're working that's making you feel like this. So then this could definitely be a relocation reading, probably, because it's like you're trying to create change for the long term. But I think, again, like I said earlier, even if you're just taking a trip just to get your mind off of things and kind of recenter yourself, I think even that trip is helping you realize something has to change. Okay, I want to clarify this Pope in the reverse really quick. Ace of Cups. Okay, there's definitely something about like tradition here that's not suiting you. So this could be like what your family wants. You know, your family or people around you are like placing some level of tradition or expectation, or even like societal expectations, societal traditions. Like it is like you have to do X, Y, and Z because that's what society expects of you. But you're like, I don't want to do X, Y, and Z. You know, I want to do my own thing. I want to do the thing that's emotionally fulfilling for me. But society or a person or people are telling you, no, like it makes more sense to do this. This is more structured. It's more predictable for your long-term future. And you're like, no, I want to do this. I'm seeing a very specific example of a dancer. Now, any type of dancer, you know, you could anywhere, just a dancer, because there's something about like expressing your body or expressing with your body. But say like your family wants you to go to like college to become an accountant, like something like so boring and like it's just so not you. Because with all this fire, all this self-expression, all this like I want freedom to be who I want to be. I want to be eccentric. I want to be outgoing. I want to be different. You know, that's you. And then it's like there's this like expectation or tradition, maybe even from society, of like you have to do something, that you have to do something else. Um, and you're realizing, no, I don't want to listen to tradition. I don't want to listen to expectations with the Pope, the Hierophant in the reverse. I want to do what I want to do with that Ace of Cups upright. But you want to be a dancer. You don't want to be an accountant. You know, you don't want to go do that. You don't want to go to school. You don't want to do all these things, but you want to work at like, I don't know, a club. I don't know, like you want to be a dancer somewhere. I'm also hearing like drag, like working as like a drag queen. Like I don't know, there's something very like eccentric, different about what you want to do, and it's like all a part of your self-expression and like who you feel like your soul is in this lifetime. You know what I mean? But that's what this feels like. It feels like transitioning away from the expectations being placed on you and realizing you are a free bird to do what you actually want to do. Even if it's unpredictable, even if it's different, even if society is somewhat against it. Or maybe in the place you're living in, people are against it. Say you want to be a drag queen, but you're living in a small town in Kentucky, I don't know, like somewhere that's like so like not accepted. So then you're like, okay, I gotta go. I gotta move, you know, with the Six of Swords. I gotta go somewhere where like this lifestyle is accepted, where my craft can actually take me to new heights, where there's other like-minded people like me. Clarify this Eight of Pentacles. Oh my God, I love it. The Fool. I love it because I was just looking at this page of batons in the reverse. And again, it's you. It starts with you. You are the one. It's like Spirit is handing you the shears. Spirit is saying you already have wings, but you have to realize that you have the tool, the shears, to cut something off, to detach from something. You already have the tools in front of you to get started. You already have wings to fly away, but you have to realize that you have to do it. Because as long as the Page of Wands is in the reverse, it's not starting anything new. It's not taking a leap of faith. It's not breaking out of the mold. It's not thinking for itself. It's thinking as a part of, like, you know, a machine or like society, or it's like it doesn't have its own desires or determination or motivation and all these things, but it's like it starts with you. And I love that we have the Eight of Pentacles with the Fool. The Fool is totally having a new beginning for itself. And this is definitely your wake-up call. Like, you're realizing, you know, I have to take my efforts, my crafts, my skills, talents, passions, the things that I want to do, the way that I want to present myself to the world, the life that I want to live, and the untapped potential that I know that I have. It's like you're having all these realizations that this is what you want. And now you're kind of redirecting yourself to have a new beginning for yourself. And I love that. I feel like that's such a perfect card to end off on. Because for some of you, I feel like it's taken years for you to realize this. It's taken quite a long time for you to finally start, you know, following your passions. And yeah, it's like this is like the next step that's being advised for you. I think the more I'm sitting with this energy, I would say for maybe like 90% of group 4, if you really resonate with this, for like 90% of you, I think it is relocation totally, like completely moving somewhere that is more accepting of the person you want to be, and also more opportunities for what it is that you want to do, especially the freedom of expression and all of that. And then I think for some of you, you could still, maybe you don't feel like you need to move, but you have to kind of like move, as in like move into a different path in your life, start a new life, even if it's in your current place. But you definitely have to like bring some sparks back, bring the excitement back into your life, bring that fire back. And with Sag, you know, especially Jupiter and Sag, that's definitely long distance travel. So maybe like to clear your head, it'd be great for you to take a trip somewhere, or it's like a specific trip that you are taking helps you realize that you have to break out of this. So yeah, interesting. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. I like this energy. You have a lot of untapped potential. And I do think for a lot of you, it's your place, like where you are, that's hindering the growth. It says the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. This literally feels like you finally coming out of the dark cave, because all of this energy was so dark, you know? Warrior woman, have you answered your deepest calling? Soul family, call in your tribe. You don't have to do this alone. The Great Gathering. It's all coming together. Intuitive hits soul tribe. Oh, I love that. You have like soul family and soul tribe out here twice. That's really cool. Okay, group 4, that's what I'm seeing. Thank you so much for letting me give you this reading today. I hope this was helpful. If you want to book a private reading with me, go ahead and email me. My email is in the description below. If you're interested in more content from me, go ahead and check out my Patreon. On Patreon, they get an additional reading every week. So there's a ton of content to catch up on. And if you just want more readings from me, definitely check that out. It is also in the description below. But thank you so much for being here. Take good care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.